Hey, come gather round. I've got a story for you today. It's a really, really old one from a long, long time ago. It's got heroes and magic and, yeah, a demon with 1,000 arms. But hidden inside this big adventure is a special secret. A secret about what makes someone truly, truly strong. So our story starts with something really sad. There's this wonderful, brave prince, his name is Anaruda, but for 4 whole months, he's been missing, just gone. And his family, well, their hearts are just breaking with worry. You can imagine, right? Wondering every single day where he could be. Because you see, Prince Aniruda wasn't just lost. Oh no, he was captured. A super powerful demon king, a king with 1,000 arms, has locked him up in a giant fortress. So the big question is, who on earth could possibly be strong enough to face a monster like that? Who could bring the prince home? Now this is the fortress of the bad guy, the demon king Banasura. He was so proud and so strong, he was sure that nobody could ever get past the walls of his city, Shonitapura. And he thought that with his 1,000 arms, he was unbeatable, and that Prince Aniruda would be his prisoner forever. But you know, news like that, it travels fast, and it finally reached the ears of the greatest hero of them all, Lord Krishna. And here's the most amazing part. Krishna is Prince Anirudha's grandfather. The second he heard his grandson was in trouble, his heart just filled with love, and he didn't waste a single second. He called together his whole giant army to go on a rescue mission. And wow, what an army this was! You had Krishna and his powerful brother, Balarama, leading all the bravest heroes of their family, the Rishnis. They marched all the way to that demon city, not as an army of anger, but as a shining army of love, ready to do anything to bring their family home. So, just how big was this rescue army? Look at this number, 12. Now, that doesn't mean just 12 soldiers, no way. It means 12 entire armies, all joined together. Can you imagine that? An army so big it filled up valleys and stretched over mountains. A huge sea of heroes surrounding the demon's fortress. So on the battlefield, you had 2 very, very different feelings getting ready to clash. On one side, you have Krishna and his heroes, and they're fighting because they love their family. But on the other side, you have Banasura and his army, and they are just filled with hot, prickly anger. This was going to be more than a battle of swords. It was a battle of love versus anger. And so the battle began. And it was so incredible, so astonishing, that the stories say it was enough to make your hair stand right up on end. This wasn't just any old fight. This was a battle of the gods. Just when things couldn't get any crazier, the whole sky rumbled. And another god, the super powerful Lord Shiva, appeared. But wait a minute, he wasn't there to help Krishna. The demon king Banasura was his good friend, and Lord Shiva came to fight on his side. Wow, the fight between them was like nothing anyone had ever seen. Lord Shiva shoots out a weapon made of pure fire, hot enough to melt rocks. But Krishna, he just calmly summons a weapon made of gentle rain to cool it all down. Then Shiva sends a giant tornado weapon, a howling wind trying to blow everything away. But Krishna just makes a giant mountain pop up to block it. For every angry attack, Krishna had a peaceful answer, and you will never guess how Krishna won the fight. He didn't use some big, scary weapon. Nope, he used a special yawning weapon. He sent it floating over to Lord Shiva and, poof, it just made him so sleepy. He couldn't fight anymore. He just let out a big yawn, stretched, and had to go take a nap. Krishna won without hurting him at all. But hold on, get this. Right in the middle of this epic battle, something even weirder was happening. A battle inside the battle. This is the amazing little story of 2 fevers that actually came to life and started to fight each other. You see, Lord Shiva had this magical servant called a Jvara. And a Jvara is like, well, it's like a fever that's alive. This one was super scary. It had 3 heads and 3 feet, and it was burning hot with anger. And it charged right at Lord Krishna. What in the world can you do against a walking, talking sickness? Well, Krishna had his own jwara, but his wasn't hot and angry. It was cool and peaceful, like a gentle, chilly breeze. And when the blazing, angry fever ran into the calm, cooling fever, it got a big shock. The angry fever suddenly felt all its heat being cooled down. And you know what it felt then? It felt scared. In that moment, the scary, hot fever knew it had lost. It understood that Krishna's cool, calm peace was way, way stronger than its own burning anger. So it bowed down, and instead of feeling angry, it felt saved. It learned that real strength isn't about being the hottest or the maddest, but about being calm and peaceful. And then Krishna gave a gift to everyone. He made a promise. He said that anyone, any kid just like you, who remembers this little story, this story about how cool peace is stronger than hot fear, will never have to be afraid of that fever. Just remembering this story can help you feel brave inside. Okay, so back to the main event. While that whole fever fight was going on, Banasura, the Demon King, was not giving up. He came roaring back onto the battlefield, ready for one last big fight with Krishna. And this time, Banasura used everything he had. How many arms again? 1,000. Can you even picture that? 1,000 arms, all holding weapons, firing thousands of arrows at once. It looked like a giant, deadly storm. It seemed totally unstoppable. But Krishna had his own special weapon, remember? A spinning, shining disc of light. And with one amazing throw, that disc just whizzed through the air and snip, snip, snip. It trimmed off all of Banasura's arms just as easily as you'd snip branches off a bush. And just like that, it was over. Banasura was helpless. He had no more arms, no more weapons. Krishna had won. He could have finished it right there. But he stopped. He looked at the Demon King, and he did something totally different. What was it? At that very moment, Lord Shiva woke up from his nap and came back. But he wasn't there to fight. He saw his friend Banasura was defeated, and his heart was filled with compassion. He walked right up to Krishna, bowed his head, and asked him, "Please, please show my friend mercy." And Krishna listened. He spared Banasura's life. And right there, he taught everyone the biggest lesson of the whole story. He showed that having the power to win a fight is one kind of strength, but having the heart to forgive someone, that's the greatest strength of all. True power is in a kind and merciful heart. So, Prince Aniruddha was rescued, and everyone went home safe and sound. But the real victory, the thing that really mattered, wasn't just winning. It was that moment of kindness at the very end. And it leaves a really important question for us to think about in our own hearts. What do you think is stronger, the power to win a fight or the power to show mercy?